Leon will curiously think about that.
Was a man known for his skill with a blade as well as sorcery, and he could ride a horse like no one else. I think. That might have been the Viper. I suppose that could have been the... Then she starts, like, rambling off, like, some, like, basically, like, a list of, like, various, like, names and, like, nicknames that, the Melkors have held over the past 2 centuries, mumbling to herself.
So you're trying to work it all out now?
Right.
How long has this barrier been up?
The barrier that, one of the family heirlooms is an old ring. Its effects are quite powerful, but very limited in scope. See, the ring, which has existed in the family line, I believe Ercilia, the matron, ended up acquiring it in some adventure or mercantile deal, or really I don't know the details, but the ring prohibits the passage of any undead or even demons through a portal, similar to a basic wizard spell, but far more powerful in its scope, in that it lasts for an entire month.
Alright.
However, the ring must then be recharged. It can only be invoked once per year.
I see. So when was it put up this last time?
I put it up as soon as the commotion began, as soon as a guard disappearance and blood was found in the basement.
I see.
Reasonable timing.
Have you noticed anything the last couple of days? Any strange energies, something like that?
I have not, but of my household staff, hearing them, they've bantered about all other silly sorts of things.
Anything in particular?
Nothing beyond what I've said. The strange lights, moving shadows, this sense of malaise, bad feeling. You know. Superstitious lots.
I see.
She shrugs. So yes, as clarification, these lighter areas are doors set into the walls.
And these two are slightly bigger?
Yes, these are the northern doors, and they are labeled, and Bree would of course provide an explanation as well, because she knows a bit about this first area of the crypt. These 4 doors off to the left and right hold servants and guards who either could not or would not be buried or interred anywhere else. And through their service and devotion to the Melkor family, they were allowed to be put in here with the crypt as a final service.
And let me guess, the guards were buried here with armor and weapons.
Bree shrugs. I don't know.
Well, I guess any room is as good as any to start with, so just pick left or right, I guess.
Sure. You can open this door to the left here.
Yep.
And what you see are an array of coffins, both on the left and the right side. There's quite a bit of dust in here, along with cobwebs that have collected over the years. Perhaps it has been some time since a body has been interred within this section on account of it being full. It is fairly obvious, though, and certainly easy to note, that 2 of the coffins have been smashed open from the inside, and one of the lids is also tilted. These are empty.
Yeah. Fargus will sort of walk up here and sort of check for any tracks from the crypt. From the smashed coffin.
There is no need to make a roll for that. Upon looking, you can readily see a number of footprints leading through this room, basically from the coffins and out of the room.
Oh, I see.
The dust here is thick enough that it's pretty easy to spot.
Right then. We'll walk back and say, yes, I certainly do believe that there are some undead here. It seems that they have walked out of this room and headed somewhere else. And Fargus will sort of look to the ground out here and see if he can see any tracks from that isn't from us 5.
Tracks actually lead out of all of the doors and into all of the doors.
Oh. Well, that complicates things.
There's quite a number of human-sized foot and boot prints within the dust. You couldn't tell how many, like there might be. Only that they are most certainly human-sized.
All of them?
Yes.
Is there any particular way that most seem to head, or is it just complete random?
You can go ahead and make a wisdom-based skill check using your tracking background for that.
Right.
Can you make sense of it?
Maybe.
Well,
that roll is not very good, but...
Fargus does have an idea, and he'll go ahead and move your token for you. As he's on the case here. Like, alright, a number of tracks appear to lead this... Oh. This door here has a hole smashed through it. Oh. Oh.
Right.
And I would like for you to roll initiative. For as you're standing there, a number of skeletons, as one, rotate their heads to look at Fargus, who, with his 13, has accidentally bumbled a bit into the door.
Stop burying people with weapons.
And they lift their spears and short bows, and this motherfucker, he lifts his damn short sword and javelin.
Fargus was not prepared for this, apparently.
Yes, I like that. I like that. She's like, shit.
Well, oh. God damn.
And I will give them all separate initiative rolls. And add Durdle here to act as the escalation die. Hey Durdle, how's it going, man? Haven't seen you since last week. How are the kids?
Yeah, no, how much.
First up goes to Team NPC, who rolled a 19 on his initiative. Black Amber Skeletal Legionnaire. This skeleton here looks far fiercer and deadlier than the others, carrying both a short sword as well as a javelin, and he is significantly better armored. The Legionnaire clanks forward as a move action, and then with a warrior's precision lifts a javelin and throws it, attempts to throw it through the hole at Fargus.
Alright.
That's a 19 versus armor class,
that's a
and
hit.
that'll deal 15 damage. The Legionnaire deals extra damage with its attacks against enemies that have a lower initiative than it.
Oh boy.
God damn it.
Oh.
So everyone...
And he rolled
you agree with
very
any
fucking well. Well, yeah, so 15 points of damage.
If we were to delay, would that still count? Like, if we were delayed just above him?
If you want to delay until you're above him, you most certainly can. You would just end up losing like a round's worth of actions.
This is horrible.
Might consider that.
We could take a campaign loss to flee now.
You know that means the undead win, right?
Let the estate be overrun.
The skeleton warrior here will stand up, and I'll say that'll end up taking a move, and he'll use his other move to get to this point. Thomas, it's your turn.
So, first of all, could Thomas somehow forcefully encourage Fargus to step away from the hole? As in, yank him away so he can't get shot some more?
Sure, I'd say that'd be like a quick action if you want to move him away from the hole.
Sure, quick action to throw Fargus over here.
Push me to here or something.
Sure. And then a small move to also not get hit. And then it's time to assess the situation a bit, I think. Gaining 2 command points. And looking around, are these other doors either open or obviously broken too?
Yes. Except for the northern doors. They remain intact. But yes, assessing the situation, there appear to be 5 skeletons within that room who have who are animate and are moving towards your position.
What type of terrain are we in now? Is it a dungeon kind of thing?
I would say yes. I would say this will qualify as a dungeon.
Right.
We've never seen you use dungeon powers.
Let's see. This skeleton archer will move here. It doesn't... I wouldn't say it has a good enough shot since the door is just there, so it'll just lift its bow. And in its turn. Leon, you're up. It'd be a quick action to open the door.
Could they do it mid-movement? Open the door? I mean, it doesn't matter anyway, because it's narrative move there. So, do I want to attack, or do I want to get above that, Legionnaire? That was actually kind of scary, that attack.
Don't know. What do you want to do?
I think I'm going to delay.
Oh, all right. Go ahead and delay. Fargus, it's your turn.
Yeah. What the fuck am I supposed to do now?
This is you guys. You're the people who like super into this. Go do your thing.
Yeah, I'm a bit hurt though.
Go defeat the undead for the good of the city.
Yeah, this is what you wanted all along.
Well,
this is your time to shine. Go.
Let's see all that training you've had in killing undead go to use, right?
Believe in yourself, Fargus.
yeah, I'm just...
Almost got you.
He does.
Even if you go down, he's got you.
I guess I can move to here and cast a spark on the Legionnaire.
Alright, go for it.
On the Legionnaire, that'd be too far.
Nope.
It would be.
It would? Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it would. Right, on the Skeleton Warrior then.
So you could always cast it before you move.
Yeah, I'll do that then.
Okay.
If I can target him from there.
Sure, you can. That's fine.
Alright.
That will hit the Legionnaire and deal 9 points of lightning damage.
Good.
Alright. Skeleton Archer here will take a move action, and then over the Legionnaire's shoulder, perhaps let out a bony sigh. And then this Archer will actually double move all the way up.
Right.
This warrior here will move, doing the same thing as the other skeleton did, stand up and move. Dwohiram, it's your turn.
Seeing a pattern here.
So I have no idea how badass these different things are. So I don't really know what to...
You know, if I've learned one thing, keep your big stuff as long as possible.
Yeah, but I have some not super big stuff that I could do.
Some moderate stuff.
Go here and do moderate things. Do you want me to target... I'm going to use Naz there, basically. Do you want me to target the skeletal Legionnaire or the other guys?
The Legionnaire, if you can.
You know, I'll go for the Legionnaire. We'll empower an Azad Arrow and go for the Legionnaire.
Alright.
That's what we do here.
Okay. Let it roll then.
Let's see, my hit is 5 then, plus 1, which is 6. 25 versus physical defense.
That's going to be 41 points of damage, right?
Yes.
That's enough to melt the Legionnaire. Falls dead.
Alright. Awesome.
So it's the end of Dwohiram. Go ahead.
Yeah, as he basically moves in and just sort of peers through the way, he looks at the biggest, scariest thing and just, from the wand conjures a more powerful and greater amount of acid, almost sort of splitting, almost as if the power is too much to sort of be contained, as the glob of acid, usually so smooth and round, is just sort of spurting and sizzling as he then hurls it from the tip of the wand towards the creature, just hitting it, melting the bones to like a puddle of black. It
wordlessly melts. Leon, before the round cycles, would you like to stop delaying and take your turn?
I've done it. I've already started delaying anyway. I'll go to the top division.
Purpose.
All right. Escalation die will kick up to 1. Leon, it's your turn.
Well, I don't like archers. So here I'm shooting over your head.
Sure, go ahead.
I'm going to shoot a chaos bolt over Dohiram's head.
Okay.
This is against the archer versus physical defense.
That will hit the physical defense.
That will be 13 points of cold damage.
Alright, this archer is staggered.
As the cold freezes its bones, causing water to expand and crack them.
Yes. Anything else?
Look impressed at Dohiram's kill as a move action.
Not a kill, it's just destruction of...
Alright.
It's a move action. Are you making the dance or what are you doing?
Alright. The warrior will end up opening the door and stepping through. A move action and quick action. And I imagine Thomas is going to prevent any any engaging thing. So the warrior will attempt to strike Thomas with a spear. 25 versus AC. 6 points of damage. Thomas, it is your turn.
Well, let's try to show that skeleton what Thomas is made of.
All right.
Oh. Actually, that sounds like a terrible idea. Let's just hit him.
That's
22.
That is a 22.
You so much damage.
19 damage.
Base attack.
And that is above that. It's worth noting, and our undead experts here could certainly tell you, all skeletons come equipped with this feature. Resist weapons 16+. Whenever a weapon attack targets them, the roll has to be 16 or higher, which yours is, or the attack only deals half damage.
That's a 17.
Right.
So 19 points of damage is enough to stagger the warrior.
Something we lucky don't deal with too often.
Yes, you casters don't have much of a problem with the weapon stuff. Will that be it for Thomas's turn?
Yes.
Those command points are nice.
Yeah.
See
Leading
here.
from the front.
That's this archer who will move forward and, let's see. Nah, you're not really that fucking intelligent. I'm gonna shoot at Thomas. Looks like another hit for 6 points of damage on Thomas.
Certainly does.
Fargus, it's your turn.
Right, move up to here, and then cast Ruination.
Alright. Show me a ruination!
You should try that again. Come on, Fargus.
Yeah, I should, shouldn't I? As another shockwave shoots out.
Alright.
First one just...
Alright. I'm now gonna let you in some fun. The 11 would have hit anyway.
Oh, it would. Oh.
Undead do not have a very resilient mind.
But
No.
that damage of 3 was just...
Yeah. Well, you don't get to reroll the damage.
No?
You only get to reroll the attack roll. That's still
Oh,
3
I
points
see.
of damage.
Oh, damn it.
Well,
Does it-
technically, I would have used my ability after knowing that he missed, but no, yeah, whatever.
You know,
just go with it.
You are allowed to know whether or not an attack would have hit or not, I think, in that situation. So there's no need to use the ability in that case.
Okay, that's good.
13th Age is pretty generous on letting folks know whenever an attack will hit or miss before rerolls are used.
Even if things are immune, as far as I understand.
Yes. That way you don't end up wasting something. So yes, you hit them for 3 points of damage.
Yeah, with a puny shockwave.
Let's see. This staggered skeleton archer will shoot at Fargus.
Yep.
6 points of damage. Hot numbers
I
here.
am staggered.
Hot numbers here for these archers.
Yep.
And this warrior will mindlessly clank out through the door and stop to attack Thomas. And miss.
That's a miss.
Dwohiram, it's your turn. You've just fucking melted one of these skeletons into a pool of ichor.
Sure. Let's shoot a ray of frost on the other guy here.
The guy here.
The staggered skeleton
Okay.
warrior.
Staggered skeleton warrior. Got it.
That's maybe a little more.
That,
17 was his physical defense.
that's a hit.
Right. That gives then, I guess I'll change my macros now
I know you gotta add those +1s.
to like 13 damage.
It drops.
Wonderful. As again, the water that Leon put in there, he just expands it further, splintering it.
Was that against the archer?
Yeah, I did against the archer. He did against
Oh,
the
well,
Now
Yeah,
we
well,
only one
the
had
axe
it.
mark.
It's fine. Like,
it's the same thing.
Bree recovers from being frozen in terror and then like flees to basically the edge of the doorway.
Yeah.
Leon, it's your turn.
Well, the archer enjoyed my attack last time. Let's try again.
That is a hit.
That is 12 points of cold damage as it just explodes from the ice expanding out of it.
Yes, bone shards go flying all over the room. Good thing you're not in there. Anything else with your turn, Dark?
You know, I'm good.
Alright. It takes us to Thomas's turn.
Let's take a swing right at the skeleton's chest, or what's left of it.
Alright.
That's a natural 20.
Yeah,
God.
that definitely bypasses the resistance, and that's enough to drop this skeleton. Go ahead and give me a description,
man.
Sheep.
Well, Thomas does exactly what I said, basically just taking a swing right at the armored chest of the skeleton, the rusted armor cracking as he hits the skeleton's spine right behind it, as it just breaks apart into, well, bones, really. Bone splinters, even, at the force of the impact.
It collapses. Anything else?
Move action to engage the archer.
Alright.
Also have all the command points in the world.
The
all the
archer
points.
will attempt to stab Thomas with its jabby bones and miss.
Jabby bones.
With jabby bones.
Fargus, your turn.
Alright. Move to here so I can see the skeleton archer better and cast a spark on it.
Alright. That is a hit.
7
Oh,
damage.
and I'm going to use an ability that I've never used before, I
Oh
think.
god.
Alright.
Which is, you set them up, I finish. Which basically means that Thomas instructs Fargus to hit him in a very specific spot. That, while not only dealing slightly more damage, also means that Thomas can hit him better as soon as he gets jacked.
Alright.
Add 2 points of damage to that 7.
Already factored. Okay. That takes us to Dwohiram's turn. Only one enemy left standing.
Alright, we'll move up here and do a ray of frost.
Okay. That is
That
a
is
miss.
probably a miss.
I can't help you.
Nope, you don't have to.
Escalation die goes to 3. Leon, you're up.
Well, might as I might as well. And look over the dwarf's head again. That'll work.
Alright.
And in goes another Chaos Bolt
That is a hit.
for 11 points of electricity damage.
That is enough to stagger the archer, however it stands.
Well, you know, but that just means Thomas gets a better kill.
Yes. Speaking of which, Thomas, it's time for
Let's
you
see.
to finish.
Let's see if the archer is distracted enough by Fargus's attack. No. No. How can I even roll that
Does the
low?
+2 damage apply to your miss?
He doesn't get the
no,
+2 damage. He
I
gets
don't get
+2 to his
damage.
attack roll.
You know, even Thomas is distracted by Fargus's distraction.
You tell me to distract him. I'm so successful that I distract you as well. Yeah.
Alright, I factored in the 2 points of missed damage. The archer, knowing no fear, attempts to stab Thomas and misses. Fargus?
Right. Yep, spark. As usual.
You know, it only has 1 hit point left. That's enough to finish the job. The last skeleton crumbles under the combined assault of the player characters. Combat is ended.
Right. Fargus sits down next to the wall and pulls out the javelin of his chest. And takes a breather.
Leon stretches a little bit after that, looking down at Bree.
Yes, Fargus is obligated to spend enough recoveries to get out of that stagger condition. Bree, for her part, looks pale, fucking worried, and she immediately steps forward, shaken, and she'll say, 500 gold pieces. 500 gold pieces. Clear out the crypt. Leave the belongings. 500 gold pieces upon your return.
Sounds reasonable.
Guys, this is where we tell her that the senator has to go free.
Yes.
Well, go ahead.
You're not going to say it. I'm very bad at saying stuff.
Instead,
he will look around at the dust, trying to see if there perhaps some sort of whirling somewhere. You know, as if something unseen is moving about.
Okay. I suppose that would be a wisdom-based skill check to attempt to discern whirling.
Yeah, alright.
What background would you like to use to attempt to spot whirling?
I don't think I can really justify
No, I didn't think so.
Kieran has studied dust quite intensely in his time.
He's a dust collector.
That's pretty good still.
Could use a janitor background.
There's quite a bit of dust that's been kicked up in the air as a result of the combat. You don't see anything untoward that would suggest someone else moving around in here, though.
Alright, well that's relieving.
We can always speak about the senator afterwards. We don't know why she wasn't present fully yet. But
well, now it's probably the time to tell her about it, though.
She's actually, like, turning to leave you folks, so
Yeah.
if there's something that you want to say...
and if you want to, step up!
Fuck it.
Fine.
We'll talk to her
walks
later,
away.
I guess, then.
Oh, you people.
It's just a suggestion.
So,
Who wants to go with it then?
this door here doesn't have much giant hole in it, does it?
Not as much of a hole, but you can easily check to confirm. There's no other skeletons in there, but coffins have definitely been jostled, as is the case in there.
Right.
So for now on we say the password whenever we enter a door.
Yeah.
Let's see. The 2 northern doors here definitely have magical runes etched onto them, which are faintly glowing.
Does saying the password do anything?
Speaking the passphrase causes the runes to cease glowing. Simultaneously, you hear a very loud rumble coming from the stone statue immediately next to you.
Ooh.
Is it hungry or
What
moving?
does it do? Does it move or just
No,
rumble?
there's just a rumbling sound emanating from within. The sound ends after 5 seconds, leaving you all in uncomfortable silence. But it was a very, very loud rumble.
Well, now
I
she knows
guess-
we know the passphrase.
My guess is that we might have awakened it if we hadn't said that, perhaps.
Out of curiosity, the runes seen on the door, would it be possible to try and work out what they might have done, being we made a mistake?
You can attempt to do that. It's it'd be a trap effect, though. What's your magical background that you use?
a wizard's apprentice.
I suppose I would allow you to use an intelligence-based skill check using your wizard's apprentice background.
I mean, you know, wizards do a lot of strange magics, and sometimes setting traps can be something that's done.
It looks like if you had attempted to open one of the doors, the door would have nuked all of you with basically like some ice energy, basically like an entire like nova of frost.
Yeah.
And it also appears this trap resets after a few minutes, so it can keep doing that in perpetuity if you keep trying to go through the door.
So the